Good day everyone, this is Sir Hill Mansuelo Jr. from STOQC New Era High School. Again, welcome to our Math Kwentuhan with Sir G. Another grade 10 lesson to be discussed. So without further ado, join me. Alright, just like what we always do on our previous math videos and lessons, so we start our discussion in dealing with our uh, learning goals. Alright, for our first learning goal is to define and illustrate geometric sequence. For number 2, identify each element of geometric sequence formula. And for the third goal, we have to use the formula in solving geometric sequence problem. Again, these are our learning goals. And again, our topic for today is all about geometric sequence. Then let's define geometric progression or sequence. It is a sequence of numbers such that the next number can be obtained by multiplying a fixed number r called the common ratio. Again, obtained by multiplying a fixed number or a common number r. And this is called the common ratio. Okay, so let's deal with its formula. So our formula is a sub n equals to a sub 1 multiplied to r raised to n minus 1, where a sub n is the nth term, a sub 1 is our first term, r is our common ratio, and n is the number of terms, while negative 1 is a constant or minus 1 is a constant. So for us to understand well this formula, let's solve some problems. For our problem number 1. So let's find the ninth term of a geometric progression to 6 and 18. Again, let's find the ninth term of a geometric progression or sequence to 6 and 18. So let's digest the given problem. So we are asked to find the ninth term. The question is, how many terms are we dealing with? Correct. We are dealing with 9 terms. So therefore, our n is 9. So what else can we get from the problem? Yes, our first term is 2. And finally, we are looking for the common ratio. Sir, how are we going to do that? Okay guys, here we go. Just like we always do in arithmetic sequence, we always start on the rightmost, then pointing to the left. But this time, we're not going to subtract. We divide. So 18 divided by 6, that is equal to, correct, 3. And we have to test that 2 to both 6 and 2 if we will arrive at the same answer. Because common ratio is a common ratio if the result is common, of course. Diba? Okay, so 6 divided by 2 gives us, correct, 3. So therefore, our common ratio is 3. So take note guys, the difference between arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence is that in arithmetic sequence, we have common difference. And or while in geometric progression or sequence, we have a common ratio. Alright? So for you to be able to check if a given sequence is under arithmetic or geometric, just look for 2. 1. Arithmetic sequence. 2. Geometric. Rather, 1. Common difference. 2. Common ratio. Alright? So, if you got common difference, then the sequence is under arithmetic sequence. If you got common ratio, then you are dealing with geometric sequence. As simple as that. Okay, so let's deal with all the given. So let's list down the given. Alright, so based on the problem, our first term is 2, the common ratio is 3, and the number of terms is 9. So we are now ready to state the pattern that the last term is always equal to the first term multiplied to its common ratio raised to the number of terms minus 1. Alright. And just like what we are doing in arithmetic sequence, we are going to plug in all the given values to the pattern. Alright, so n will be replaced by 9, all n by 9, your a sub 1 of course by 2, your r by 3. And here we go. So that is equal to 2, which is your first term, multiply to the common ratio, which is 3, then raised to 9 minus 1, which is equivalent to 8. Ayan. And you may press that to your calculator. So what is 3 raised to 8? So let's check if we will arrive at the same answer, no? 65, 61. Did you arrive at 65, 61 too? So, therefore, 3 raised to 8 is 65, 61. Then, don't forget to multiply that by 2. Okay? Guys, take note. Some of the students multiply immediately 2 to 3. Okay? If you do that, you will get an incorrect answer. Don't do that. So, we have to take note that 3 or our ratio is being raised to an exponent. So, using our GEMDAS rule, so those elements with exponents must be first simplified before this number, no? Before multiplying or anything. Okay, so 9 minus 1, that is 8. So 3 raised to 8 using your scientific calculator, that is equal to 6561 or 6561. Then multiply to your first term 2, then we will arrive at 13,122. And that will serve as our 9th term in this sequence. Did you get that? Alright. Again, if you have some confusions, medyo, parang nalilito kami dun you may always pause this video, rewind, rewatch, relearn, and use your pen and paper. You solve, just like what I did. You get all the givens, state the pattern, then plug in all the given to the pattern, then use your calculator with you, then presto, you will get 13,122. Alright? Okay. So let's proceed on our next problem. For the next problem, so find the 7th term of the geometric sequence for 20 and 100. So just like what we did on our first exercise, so let's identify all the possible given using the problem itself. Okay? And since we are looking for the 7th term, so how many terms are we going to deal with here? Of course, we have to deal with 7 terms. So therefore, our n is 7. What else? Our first term is 4. What else? The common ratio. Alright. So let's divide the last number on the right towards to the left. 100 divided by 20, that is equal to 5. Correct. Then 20 divided by 4, that is also equal to 5. So therefore, we can conclude that the common ratio in this sequence is 5. Then let's write all the given. So the first term is equal to 4. The number of terms we are dealing with is 7. And the common ratio is 5. So we are now ready to state the pattern. That the last term is always equal to the first term, multiply to its common ratio, raised to the number of terms minus 1. Then, we are going to plug in all this given to the given pattern or formula. And here we go. So, of course, since your n is 7, we arrive at a sub 7 that it's equal to your first term, which is 4. Then multiply their common ratio, which is 5. Then, raise to the number of terms, which is 7, then minus 1. Then, let's simplify. So, just bring down a sub 7 equals to 4. Then, 7 minus 1, that is 6. Then, please press this to your calculator. 5 raised to 6, that is equal to 15,625. Then multiply to 4, we will arrive at 62,500. And that is our 7th term. Alright, diba? Sobrang dali lang. Okay, sobrang dali lang. Tabi nyo lang lagi sa inyo yung inyong scientific calculator. Kung wala naman, ang gawin nyo lang, i-multiply nyo lang yung 5 ng 6 times. So, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Then, you will arrive at 15,625 also. Then, don't forget to multiply it to your first term 4. Then, you will arrive as well sa 62,500. And that's it. That's our second problem. Let's deal with the third. So let's find the 10th term of the geometric sequence 64, negative 32, 16, and negative 8. How can you compare this third problem to the first two problems that we've just solved? Yeah, okay, correct. Sir, alternating po yung sign. We have positive, negative, positive, negative. What else? Correct. The trend of the sequence is in decreasing form. So, pababa tayo. No? Okay. Here we go. Please listen very carefully. If the sign is alternating and the trend of the number is decreasing, guys, your common ratio is always a fraction and a negative. Again, take note, if the sign is alternating, then the ratio is negative. And if the trend of the number is decreasing, then the ratio is a fraction. Okay? Take note of that. So, therefore, ang inaasahan natin ditong ratio ay isang fraction and a negative fraction. Alright, so let's get all the given. So, we are asked to find the 10th term. So, therefore, there are 10 terms. So, our n is 10. Our first term is 64. And we are now ready to get the common ratio by dividing the last number on the right towards to the left. So, negative 8 divided by 16, that is negative 1 half. Then, 16 divided by negative 32, again, that is negative 1 half. Negative 32 divided by 64, again, that is negative 1 half. Then, let's write all the given. So, our first term is 64. N is equal to 10. Since the number of terms we are dealing is 10 terms. And the common ratio as we solved a while ago is negative 1 half. Then, of course, state the pattern. So, don't forget to state the pattern. This is our guide. Alright? That the last term is always equal to the first term, multiply to the common ratio, raised to the number of terms minus 1. Again, just plug in all these values to the given formula, and here we go. Again, your n is 10. Alright? Just like what we did here. And your first term is 64. Alright? And the common ratio is negative 1 half. Of course, 10 minus 1 is 9. Alright, so just bring down 64, multiply 2, negative 1 half. Then, let's distribute your exponent 9 on both numerator 1 and denominator 2. Then we will arrive similar to this. So we have negative 1 raised to 9 all over 2 raised to 9. And guys, huwag tayong malito ha. Oo. So sir, how did you arrive at 2 raised to 6? Why did you come up on that idea? Okay guys, kasi merong hint dito. So ito kasing ating denominator is written in a base 2. So nag-isip si sir, baka sakali itong 64 can be written in a base 2 as well. So if you could check your exponential table, 2 raised to 6 is equal to 64. That's why I choose to write 64 as 2 raised to 6. So, pareho lang naman sila ng value. Sir, bakit mo gustong gawin yon? Of course, mas madali kasing i-divide yung 2 raised to 6 over 2 raised to 9 using the law of exponent. Ayan. Alright, so mag-divide tayo. Again, let's recall. When we divide the same base, we simply copy the base, then subtract the exponent. So, 6 minus 2, that is 3. Of course, 1 raised to 9 is still 1. Okay, then 2 raised to 3 gives us 8. So therefore, the 10th term of this sequence is negative 1 over 8. Again guys, kung medyo nalito, pause ang video, rewind, rewatch, redo using your pen and paper. Wag na wag kayong aalis dito sa point na ito until you master the skill. Until meron kayong tanong. Make sure lahat ng nakasulat dito sa ating solution ay malinaw sa inyo. And just in case talagang hindi nyo maintindihan, you can always message me to our group chat or please PM me immediately. Okay? But of course, bago natin gawin yun, please pause the video, rewind, and rewatch. Okay? Alright. So, let's proceed on our next problem. So, this time, the common ratio is given. So, the common ratio of a geometric sequence is 5. So, R is equal to 5. The sixth term is 625. List down the first 5 terms of the sequence. Alright, so ang given lang natin, common ratio R, which is equal to 5, and the sixth term, which is 625. Of course, we know the number of terms. There are 6 terms in the sequence. That's why we are asked to list down the first 5 because this is the 6th na. Alright? Okay, so let's write all the given. So the ratio is 5. The sixth term is 6 to 5. Let's state the pattern. Okay, so we have the last term equals to the first term. Multiply to the common ratio raised to the number of terms minus 1. So let's plug in all the given. So we have 6 to 5 here. A sub 1 will remain A sub 1. Your R is 5. Then since we have 6, then minus 1, we arrive at 5. Just like this. Okay? Then, using your calculator, by getting the value of 5 raised to 5, we will arrive at 3125. Then, let's divide both sides by 3125. So, 3125 and 3125 will be eliminated. So, what is left here in this side is A sub 1. And on the other side is 625 over 3125. So, if it happens na you have your scientific calculator, you may press this immediately to your calculator. Then, you will get na yung value ng first term natin. So, just make sure that the final answer is in fraction form. Do not use decimal. Alright? But if you don't have a calculator and you are very familiar to your exponential table, 625 and 3125 can be written in a base 5, of course. 625 is equal to 5 raised to 4. 3125 is equal to 5 raised to 5. Now, if it happens that you don't have a calculator, just like what I said a while ago, we can use this, again, using the law of exponent. So, by dividing the same base, we simply copy the base, then subtract the exponent. So, 4 minus 5, that is negative 1. And we do not allow a negative exponent. So, let's get the reciprocal of this one. Then, we will arrive at 1/5. Okay? Similar, if you just press 625 divided by 3125 on your calculator, you will arrive as well at 1/5. And since alam na natin yung first term, which is 1/5, pwede na natin makuha yung second up to the fifth term. How? Okay, by using the definition of geometric progression or sequence. Anong sabi? For us to get the next element from the first term, we simply multiply the first term to our common ratio. So, therefore, our first term is 1/5. So, 1/5 times 5 gives us 1. Then, 1 times 5 gives us 5. That is the third term. Then, 5 times 5, that is 25. Then, 25 times 5, that is 125. And therefore, these are the first 5 terms of the sequence. Of course, 125 times 5 is 625. That's why our sixth term is 625. Clear? Again, take note, if you get the first element, for you to be able to tell the next element is just multiply your first term to your common ratio, then do the same to get the next item or element. Alright? So, multiply lang. Again, bring down 1/5, that is your first term. Then, 1/5 times 5, that is equal to 1. Then, 1 times 5, that is equal to 5. Then, 5 times 5, that is equal to 25. And 25 times 5, again, that is equal to 125. That's why we arrive on the first 5 elements of the sequence: 1/5, 1, 5, 25, and 125, based on the definition of geometric progression or geometric sequence. Again, if you did not get this item, pause the video, rewind, rewatch, and please use your pen and paper to practice this item. Okay, so let's proceed on our next problem. Let's determine the geometric progression in which the third term is 2 and the sixth term is 27 over 32. So in this case, the given are the third term 2 and the sixth term 27 over 32. Then let's write the given. So the third term is 2, the sixth term is 27 over 2. So let's picture that out. So you have 2 blanks before 2, since 2 is the third term. Another 2 blanks before 27 over 32, since that is sixth term. Okay? Alright. So let's solve for R. So to solve for our common ratio, we always get we always use this formula, no? So again, use this formula. Again, A sub n is the last term. A sub k is where the first term locates. So A sub n is on the third term. So your k here is 3. Your n is 6 because 27 over 2 is on the sixth element. So this, therefore, 6 minus 3. Your A sub n is 27 over 2, or 32 rather. and uh, your a sub k, which is 2. Then we will arrive just like this one. So you have 6 minus 3, 27 over 2, 32 over 2. So 6 minus 3, that is equal to 3. Then using mean and extremes, alright, so just copy 27 because 27 times 1, alright, that is 27. Then 32 times 2 is 64. Then getting the cube root of both 27 and 64, we will arrive at 3/4. So you may always use your calculator to deal with this, to those who have their scientific calculator. Kung doon naman sa mga wala, uh, you must be familiar on your exponential table that 27 can be found on uh, perfect cube on 3. So 3 raised to 3 is 27. Ganun yun. Then 4 raised to 3 is 64. Okay? So you must memorize your exponential table if you don't have your scientific calculator with you. But I hope you have your scientific calculator with you so that this lesson must be easy. You just press the cube root of 27 over 64, then you will arrive at 3/4. Now, by using, again, the definition of the geometric progression, so for us to identify the next two items after 2, we simply multiply 2 to the common ratio, 3/4, just like this one. So since this is the fourth element or fourth term, we simply multiply the third term to the common ratio. And the third term, it happens that that is 2, and the common ratio is 3/4. Alright? So we have, we can see that 2 and 4 has a relationship. We can divide. How many 2 are there in 2? So we have 1. How many 2 are there in 4? We have 2. So therefore, our final answer is 3/2. Pero, you can always press this equation into your calculator, then you will arrive at 3/2 na. So therefore, the fourth element or fourth term is 3/2. Okay? And how to get the fifth element? Simple. You multiply the fourth element to the common ratio. So just like here. Alright, again, the fourth element, just like what we solved a while ago, nasolve na natin siya kanina. So yung a raised to 4, a sub 4 rather, is 3/2, and your common ratio is 3/4. Okay, so we always multiply the common ratio for us to get the next element on the right, diba? So 3 times 3, 9, and 2 times 4, 8. So therefore, the fifth element is 9/8. Okay, and for us to check if the sixth term is 27/2, so we multiply the fifth term, which is 9/8, to the common ratio 3/4. Then again, we arrive at 27/32. So tama. Now the next question, how are we going to get the second term and the first term? Since this is on the left side of 2. Okay. If we are dealing with those terms on the left, and this is geometric sequence, in case of multiplying the ratio, we divide. Okay? Alright. So, we're going to divide the third term to the common ratio. So, ano ba yung third term natin? 2. Di ba? So, divide natin sa 3/4. Then, let's begin. So, 2 times 4, 8. Then, over 3. So, therefore, the second term is 8/3. And, of course, for the first term, just repeat the process. This time, we divide the second term, which is 8/3, to the common ratio 3/4. Then, we will arrive just like this. So 8 over 3 divided by 3/4. So 8 times 4, 32. Then 3 times 3, 9. So therefore, our first element is 32 over 9. So therefore, the geometric progressions are 32 over 9, 8 over 3, 2 which is given, 3 over 2, 9 over 8, and 27 over 32 which is given. Alright? So therefore, this is our geometric progression. Again, kung medyo nalilito, medyo naguguluhan, you may always pause this video, rewind, rewatch, practice using your pen and paper. Okay, so since you know how to use our pattern, our geometric progression or geometric sequence formula, it's your turn to solve problem. Kayo naman. So I want you to get again your paper, write your name, then write your solution, take a photo after your solution, then send it to me via PM, okay, or dun sa ating uh, chat room. Pero don't forget to write your name on your solutions, okay, for me to identify kung kayo yung gumawa nun. Okay, again, you may pause this video for 15 minutes to finish the quiz. Alright, so here we go. So directions: perform all indicated operations. For number 1, find the fifth term of a geometric sequence whose first term is 3 with a common ratio 3. Again, find the fifth term of a geometric sequence whose first term is 3 with a common ratio 3. And for number 2, final number, determine the geometric progression in which the fourth term is 54 and the seventh term is 1458 or 1458. Again, please pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes before to play it again para makita ninyo yung final answer. Again, don't just get the final answer. You have to know how to get the final answer. Alright? And I want to know if you know how to do it. Again, pause the video. Then, send to me the picture of your solutions. Alright? You may start. Alright, so since finish na ang 15 minutes natin para ma-solve itong mga items na ito, so let's check. Alright, check na natin. Here are the answer keys. For number 1, we have 243. And for number 2, we have 2, 6, 18, 54 is given, 162, 486, and 1458, which is also the given. Alright, so I hope you got these terms. If not, guys, you may always rewind, rewatch, then resolve. Again, you made it, guys. Thank you. Until our next math kwentuhan. Ingat tayo palagi. Keep safe. Bye-bye.